Welcome to the 4th episode of Downtime Podcast, where two coworkers talk about video games. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Jeremy.
We're live after work.
Yeah. This is our first time. Well, no. First time doing it after work?
I think this is our first time doing it after work.
Yeah. So
And
we're in a different room this time, so if you hear some background noise.
if you hear a heater.
Or air conditioner or whatever it is.
Since our last podcast, we were talking about Yakuza 0. As of this week, nothing's really changed. We're still playing Yakuza 0.
I'm still obsessed with that game. I spent this past weekend playing it.
It's still the greatest thing ever so far. We're gonna spend the first part of our podcast talking a little bit more about Yakuza, especially now that both of us have played through a few more chapters, played through a lot of the side stories and a lot of the side activities now.
Yeah, and then a little bit later on, we'll have a guest come in and he'll talk about some stuff with us.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I just want to start out by saying I'm still having a lot of fun with Yakuza 0. I'm actually stuck on Chapter 5 because I've spent too much time doing two things. The first thing is pocket car racing. I've been obsessed with beating little kids in that game.
Oh my god.
Because you can buy you can buy a car called the Killer Bee from the thrift shop in the game, and it's 50 million yen. And it seems like a lot of money.
How many people did you beat up for that?
I bought it. Oh, how many people did I beat up? I beat up Mr. Shakedown at least 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually funny because there's actually 4 different Mr. Shakedowns. There's 2 in Osaka.
4?
Yeah, there's 2 different ones in Osaka and 2 different ones in Kamurocho.
Wow.
Yeah. So, pocket car racing is probably my favorite thing right now because I like customizing the cars. It sounds super nerdy and stupid, but in the beginning I hated it because I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I have to 100% this game in order to do this. And I bought the 50 million yen car. I'll just talk about where that money came from a little bit more later. But pocket car racing is really fun because you can customize your car, you can race around in it, and you like. It's basically just fun watching your car run around in circles. I don't know if it's not for everyone, I understand, but for me, I'm like, oh my god, this is actually really cool because like there's actually a risk that your car might fall off the track or you might lose money because you actually have to pay money to enter the races. You don't really win any of the money that comes back from entering the race, but it's still fun, like putting in all this time and money into racing your cars, kind of like real stock car racing.
Are you friends with the pocket car store owner?
So you get to befriend someone that is involved with the pocket car circuit, and he's actually the announcer. He's not really a racer. He's like the guy that just announces everything, and he has an interest.
And he's dressed in a very fly tracksuit.
Oh yeah, he's very flamboyant, very loud. Yeah, there's some jokes about it, but I won't go into it because I think I want you to play it first, Alyssa, and then we'll talk about it.
No, I've played pocket car.
Oh,
racing.
okay.
Yeah, that's why I know.
There's a joke where you could say something to him and he thinks it's gay and he says, "Oh, I'm not into guys." I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, oh, that was one of the options to choose for the dialogue, but yeah. So yeah, I'm obsessed with that right now. And the other thing I will say I spend a lot of time on because I haven't progressed in the game is the real estate mini game.
I haven't actually really gone into that yet, so you can talk about it.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's not really spoilery because it's part of the game. And
I don't think it's spoilery.
No, not at all. But so the real estate mini game in Yakuza 0 is where at some point after you beat the first part of the Osaka chapter, so after you finish the first night as Majima in Osaka, you go back to Kiryu in Kamurocho and you unlock the real estate mini game. And so what it is that you meet this guy and he gives you a bunch of properties to manage in that whole area. And there's 5 different areas and you have to unlock each one by talking to a certain person and beating up certain people. So what it does is that you invest in certain properties in that area with the money that you already have. So you have to buy certain shops and once you do, you can invest a certain amount of money in them, and the max for the first area is 70 million yen, and that's where I got the money to buy that pocket car. That's one of the areas of income. So when it comes to purchasing these places, you'll need people to help manage and to help guard and secure these buildings that you buy in these areas, to be exact. So I was telling Alyssa earlier, not off the podcast, that sub-stories will come into play later. So some of the characters that you meet in these sub-stories actually come back and help you manage your real estate business, and they can actually net you a lot of money.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you're talking about the girl who is like the guy who's trying to find about his girlfriend.
About his girlfriend.
Yeah. So that girl that at the very end, the mastermind, she actually helps you manage your real estate business.
Oh, because of what Curio did for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all these characters that you help, even the ones that you don't remember, will come back and be like, "Hey, I did this for you, and I'm looking for a job. Do you think you can help me?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'll help you."
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because, I recently went through the side story
Mm-hmm.
about the actor who kind of looks like James Dean, and he has a band. And they were having a shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back.
Yes.
All right. Jeremy's nodding his head right
Yes.
now.
He will help you a lot later on.
Oh, nice.
All these characters, they require a certain amount of payment for upping your bill when it comes to just like security and management for the real estate game. And you'll net a lot of money with these characters, and you'll help upgrade your shops to from D rank all the way to S rank. And the higher the rank of the shop, the more money you'll get.
Yeah.
Which is really, really nice. And you kind of want that when it comes to managing your real estate and just getting more money in general. More money in Yakuza is nice.
Yes. And I mean, I suppose the entire game of Yakuza is based off of real estate anyways. So.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Plus Mr. Shakedown. Mr. Shakedown's like this big mini boss in the game, and he beat the shit out of you if you are not prepared.
Jeremy just beat him last night.
Yeah,
he
and
sent me the video of it.
I sent a video of Alyssa of me beating Mr. Shakedown for like the 6th or 7th time, and I got $1 billion from him, and in the background the music is like, "I want to be a billionaire," and then I just sent it to her.
Wow.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. When the first time I encountered Mr. Shakedown, I kind of didn't know what to expect. I was going against him, and when you hit him, it does a lot of damage. It actually does a pretty good amount of damage. So I thought I was gonna win that battle.
Yeah.
Until all of a sudden, Mr. Shakedown tackles into me and takes up half of my health as well as half of my money. Because with Mr. Shakedown, what it is it's a walking character, and if you run into him, he's gonna start a battle with you. And the point of the battle is to win with Mr. Shakedown. If you win against him, you'll get all the money that he has currently on him.
Yep.
But if Mr. Shakedown beats you, he's going to take all of your money. Not even just like a fraction of it, just the entire pot.
Yeah, and there are some items you can get in the game that'll help you secure your money. There's like a security wallet, and there's also a hidden belt. And I recommend, if you want to fight him, since you don't have the security wallet yet, because you have to obtain it from a sub-story, go to the thrift store. It's like La Blanche or something. It's like some French name, and then you can buy the security wallet for 300,000.
All right.
And I'm sorry, you can buy the hidden belt for 300,000.
Got it.
Yeah, and that'll help you at least save some of your money, so you won't lose everything.
Okay, cool.
But the nice thing is that next time you see Mr. Shakedown, he'll have the money that he stole from you still. And so if you succeed in beating him, you'll get your money and double that or triple that, depending on how much he has.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's like my favorite character to beat up, because then I can just take his money.
Yeah, whenever I encounter him, I either run away really fast in the opposite direction, or I reload my game because I ran into him and I didn't notice I was running into him.
Yep. There's actually an item you'll get later called the Encounter Finder. You can apply it to yourself, and you'll see where he is on the map at all times.
Okay.
Which is so helpful, because either when you want to fight him, you can find him. If you want to avoid him, you can avoid him.
I do want to beat him one day.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I'm
totally.
training for. I'm not even trying to finish this game anymore. I just want to beat this guy up.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like your eternal goal.
I know.
It's funny because he's wearing like a tiny fedora.
Yes.
not tiny. It's like it fits his head.
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah,
Or like the rim. Okay, the rim is tiny.
I'm always thinking of those like fedora memes, like "Milady," you know. I'm like, this guy. Why is he wearing a fedora?
I know.
But the other guys who are also Mr. Shakedown in Osaka and Kamurocho, they also are just as ridiculous as that same one. Yeah, because they all have different names, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
But yeah, are you still playing the karaoke minigame?
Oh yeah, I play it all the time. I'm trying to get 100%.
It's so hard.
Was it Bakamitai?
Yeah, Bakamitai.
That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song to play on the karaoke
it's so
right
good.
now. I'm trying really hard to 100% it. I think the highest that I've gone was 96.
Nice.
So it's the ultimate goal for me.
Oh yeah, totally.
And have you ever played Bust a Move before?
Yes, I love that game.
So all of these mini games remind me of Bust a Move a bit.
Yes.
The ones that involve music, at least.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the karaoke one is very, very similar to Bust a Move.
Yeah, totally. It's accessible too.
It is accessible.
Every time I mess up, I start like fiddling around, like, oh my god, what was the button?
I know. But I love playing the karaoke. I also I like singing with just my character.
Yeah.
But I also love the interjecting option for karaoke,
yeah.
because it's just so random. Because they'll just say random words.
Yeah.
While the bartender is the one actually singing, your main
Yep.
character can interject with where it's kind of like when people sing along.
Yeah, like they'll repeat a phrase at the end of a verse or something. It's pretty funny. So going off of that, actually, there's gonna be a point where you can play another mini game that hasn't been unlocked for you yet. You can actually go on dates with 3 different girls, and you can do karaoke with them, and you'll get different.
Awesome.
Yeah, they'll sing the same songs
Duets?
Yeah, well, I haven't gotten to there yet. I don't think maybe you can do duets, but there's a part where, when the woman sings like for some songs, they'll start singing. It'll transition to like those really fancy cutscenes where it shows them like singing in like this really crazy setting, and it's like the best thing ever. I'm like, oh my god, that's great.
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
And on top of karaoke, I'm also playing. I've been going to the disco club a lot.
Maharaja.
It's so much fun, and that one was pretty hard to figure out. Because the way it works is in front of you there's a grid, and the grid is a bunch of squares put together.
Yep.
And what will happen is on any random point of the grid,
Uh-huh.
an X will appear, and you start in the center of the circle, so one of the boxes in the center, and you have to find the X and then press it by the time it aligns with the beat. And so what will happen is all your buttons, so for triangle, circle, X, and square, they'll appear on certain parts of the grid. You have to get them in order, and you have to get them on time, or else you miss the dance move. And also, if you have a really bad score, they boo you, and it's sad.
I know. I hate that so
I hate
much.
when they boo me.
When I lose, I feel so bad because he walks away in shame, and people are like, "Boo!"
And then
I'm
after,
like, yeah, and go ahead.
yeah, and then after that, I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this again.
Yeah. You want to
have
redeem
to-
yourself.
I have to redeem myself. I haven't gone 3 stars yet. I'm trying for that. I've gone up to 2.
I gave up on that. I just started playing pool. I just
sure.
gave up and started playing pool.
And you
It's
know
great.
what I actually think is a lot harder than the disco thing is the batting cage.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that.
So I've gotten a lot better with the batting cage, but holy crap, it took a really long time for me to figure out this one.
Want me to give you a tip?
What's the
How
tip?
to tip it? Okay, so, it takes a lot of concentration and like finesse to do this. So when the ball's coming towards you, like you know how Kiryu has an idle animation?
Yeah.
It'll stop for a second and that's when he's about to hit it. So press X when he's about to stop his idle animation.
Oh, okay.
And then he'll hit it and you'll be perfect.
Really?
Yeah, I found that out like just looking on Google. I was like,
Okay.
oh shit, because I wanted to like.
You wanted the prizes, right?
Yeah,
I want the prizes too.
I also need the trophy to 100% this game. So, yeah. So next time you play the batting cages, make sure you see his wait for his animation to stop, his idle animation to stop, and that's when he's about to hit the ball.
Okay.
So yeah, still a tip for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. No. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I'm still stuck on chapter 5. I don't get me wrong. I do like the story. I just right now all the sub stuff is just so
Side
fun.
stories are really fun. Like
Yeah.
Jeremy said in the last podcast, you get $1 for every game in the game. Which
Yeah.
means there's 60 games.
Oh, totally. Oh, there's 60 games. Air quotes, 60 games.
60 games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, I don't know if you've done fishing yet. That's actually pretty
I haven't
interesting.
done fishing
Yeah.
yet.
If you go to the thrift store again, where you buy the killer bee, you can buy the best pole in the game for 30 million. And that's all you need. After that, you don't need anything else. You don't even need bait. You
don't
could
even-
use that pole.
Wow.
I caught a great white shark.
What?
Yeah, it was a $100,000, 60,000-pound great white shark in Tokyo Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't sold it yet.
Oh my.
Yeah, I was like, it's like he pulls out the reel, and I'm like, is that a great white shark? It was bigger than me. I'm
Okay,
like,
legit
what the hell?
question. Could you actually get great white sharks in the bay?
No, they're deep water sea
That's
sea animals.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Because some of the shadows in the have you ever played Animal Crossing?
I've seen people play Animal Crossing before.
So when you go out fishing in Animal Crossing, there's like the shadows of the fish on the surface of the water. When you pull your pole out there, you can throw it near its head, and then it'll look at it and start biting at it. Same concept in Yakuza.
Okay.
It'll turn red, and then it'll start poking at the fishing poles.
And then you have to lure it in.
Yeah, and then there's a certain point where the bobber goes down underneath the water, and that's when you press X and reel it in.
Okay.
Some of the shadows are like way larger than you, and those are the ones you want to go for because those are the bigger fish.
Got it.
And that's where the great white shark came from. I'm like, am I gonna pull up a dinosaur next? Like, what's gonna happen?
I wonder if you're, because you know how sometimes for You know how sometimes for
Mhm,
games like that, there's
mhm.
like really ridiculous things like you can pull out a car out of the ocean or out of the
Yeah,
water,
yeah,
or you
yeah.
can pull out a boat.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, our guest just walked in.
Hi.
Hi, introduce yourself.
I am Brandon.
This is Brandon. He's another one of our coworkers, and he's also a pretty huge gamer like us.
Yes. Tens of minutes a day.
Tens of minutes.
He's also a longtime fan of the show. You know, we're like we're on our 4th episode.
I'm not just a member. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's true. He's listened to our podcast.
Does it
before.
go the other way around? Did I mess that up?
No, you're fine.
Fix it in editing.
fix it in post, right?
So we're going to stop our discussion about Yakuza, although we're probably going to be providing updates every single week when we progress in the game.
Until the next iteration of the game comes out.
Yes, until we finish.
Yeah. So we kind of want to talk to you about Zelda, Breath of the Wild, since it kind of just came out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your thoughts, your ideas, like, do you like it so far, first of all?
You can say whatever you want.
Tens of minutes.
Tens
Tens
of
of
minutes.
I do enjoy it, actually. I've always been a strong fan of the Zelda games. I actually buy Nintendo consoles specifically for those games. Which,
Okay.
Yeah, we can go into that a whole other crazy time. This whole crazy thing.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah, go for it.
Like, I mean, yeah, go for it. What's like for the GameCube? What was the first game or the first game that you bought? What was your favorite game?
The GameCube, yes, I bought it when I think I was 18, off of eBay, used, and I bought it specifically for Wind Waker,
Oh,
and that was a good choice. I like that. That was.
I agree.
And so I've also purchased recently a Wii U
Mhm.
before the Switch was announced, of course, used in preparation for Breath of the Wild
Nice.
to just stay consistent, really consistent. Love
Which, by the way, I have something real quick to say. Is it true that the Switch doesn't really have any launch games because all the games can be bought on Wii U?
Do you want me to say yes?
I don't. I want you to.
I will say whatever you want right now.
I have no idea either.
Okay, because I heard that was a complaint about the Nintendo Switch since it's expensive right now.
Yeah.
All the games are out on Wii U, so you don't even necessarily have to buy the new Switch out yet.
Let me look at Google. Let me see what Google will tell me for the Switch games. Because I thought Mario Kart was one of them.
Well, this is
Maybe I'm wrong.
my opinion on it. I think you can get Mario Kart on Wii U as well.
Yeah, you can. It's this 8th one. They had just redid it for Switch and added some stuff.
So, this is the way I look at it from what I logically gather, is if they wanted to force people to buy the Switch via a game release, Zelda was probably going to be the guy to do it with. So if they didn't do it there, they probably didn't do it on any other games. But I'm sure they have a lineup of games to be released in the future that will maybe force this. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. So here are the launch titles. There's 5 games that came out for the Switch. On the 3rd, Breath of the Wild, 1-2 Switch, which I think is like the stock game that came with it. It's like Wii Sports.
Okay.
Super Bomberman R, Skylanders Imaginators, and Just Dance 2017.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I changed my mind. I actually got the Wii U for Just Dance 2017. Is it too late to change my answer?
No. So coming on later this month Has Been Heroes, Snipper Clips, I Am Setsuna, and Fast RMX. Next month is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is just Mario Kart 8, but for the Switch. ARMS, which is that weird boxing game. Puyo Puyo Tetris is later in spring 2017. The summer is Splatoon 2 and Rhyme.
Oh, Splatoon 2.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
in fall 2017 it says Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. I guess. And then sometime in the winter, I guess, will be Super Mario Odyssey. And then sometime in the year, unannounced, is Ultra Street Fighter 2, Xenoblade Chronicles, Minecraft, FIFA, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Disgaea 5, Sonic Mania, and Steep.
Which,
NBA
by the
2K.
way, guys, if you don't own Minecraft on every single device and console
Yeah.
already, I strongly urge that you go out to a place where games are purchased and or sold and immediately buy it for every console and device you can.
Yeah, no, totally. Oh my god, the amount of children that play Minecraft
Is me. Tens of minutes, people.
Did you play Minecraft? Are you owner of Minecraft?
I have secrets to show you.
Did you play Minecraft?
I did. Yeah, I built my hometown house in
Really?
Minecraft. Yeah.
Did you build a town?
No, just the house.
Okay, because I think where I dropped off of Minecraft is I built my town to the point that people populated it, and then
Oh wow.
I felt accomplished. I mean, I didn't beat the game. I didn't go
No.
to what's it called, the Otherworld, and beat that dragon. But
Oh, the Nether.
yeah, but
Well,
Nether. What is it?
not the
End.
hype. Like, we'll go back to Zelda in a second here.
Sure. Sure.
But as far as Minecraft goes, you're either going to be one of those people that like to explore and you just don't want to be creative, or
Yeah.
you want to be creative and you could care less about exploring. And maybe the rare few individuals have a healthy balance of both. But I was one of the creative types, so
Oh, gotcha.
as far as like, I did go through the game really fast and tried to do all that extra stuff, but
Mhm.
after doing it for 30 minutes or an hour, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
cool, that's done. We're done with this. And then I went back to building my cities.
Did you play it on PC?
I did.
Yeah,
Yes,
same
that's
here.
that's my favorite way. I got World Edit and things like that, and really went to town. with
That's
the building.
awesome.
I started legit, like, let's build things legitimately, and then it turns out, you can only do so much as one person without tools. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I want to build bigger, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life in this. So I got the tools. But we could actually probably talk about that next episode.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, let's talk about that next time. I think that's a whole other thing because I know my brother plays Minecraft like almost religiously, or he did before, and he and I did some things. But we'll talk about that next time. Yeah. So back to Zelda.
Yeah, let's go back to Zelda. I haven't gotten very far in the game. I'm still at where I like to call Tutorial Island.
We were talking about this at lunch.
Oh yeah, Tutorial Island. It's basically a place that you go in the game that is all nice and gentle, and nothing
Mhm.
really bad can happen, and the story is just presented to you in a nice, subtle way, and you have to complete a series of tasks that are all geared
Yeah.
to show you how to play the game and what the game will be in the future.
Oh, totally.
So you're unlocking things there, but really you're not really unlocking them. You're just learning about them, and they don't let you use them until you learn about it. Blah blah blah. That kind of mentality. So I'm still on Tutorial Island. I think I'm gonna be complete with it shortly if I get around to playing, maybe even tonight. But my initial observations about the game is that it's very different than other Zelda games that I've played. I haven't played all of them, but this particular one took a very like survivalist game type of approach where
yeah.
it still has a lot of the elements of what Zelda was before,
Uh-huh.
but they've also incorporated new ways of thinking about it. So you'll go and collect resources. If you want to get your health back, you have to gather food, and you can cook this food into other things that can then help you do things better. For instance, there's a cold area in Tutorial Island,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to get through it, but to get through it, you have to stay warm, and food is one of those methods that you can do this.
Yeah.
So they have boons that will help you out, and I'm sure the game will get harder, but right now the monsters are relatively low threat. I think I died once due to stupidity. That means it'll happen many, many more times. Tens of minutes.
Tens of minutes
Tens
of
of
time.
minutes.
Tens of minutes of times. So that is actually pretty interesting. For me, I come from a background of playing games like that, so it's the novelty of it is kind of been long worn off due to other games and playing those games. But I think there's a lot of people that will enjoy that element of this game. There's also a strong like technological design about the game. And what I mean by that is the temples in the area and even the device that you start off with have their roots geared in, like, it seems like it's future technology,
Mm.
but designed in such a way that it kind of bridges the Stone Age with the future technology. So it's to me, I've never seen anything like that in any other of the Zelda games. So it was a surprise. Like I was like, oh, I feel like I'm playing Halo Zelda.
Halo Zelda?
Halo Zelda. Without the guns, of course.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not the Covenant or, other things like that. But I've enjoyed the design so far, basically.
Cool.
Nothing that destroys my immersion into the world.
I really like the art style too.
Yeah, it looks like a movie.
Yeah, I compare it to Wind Waker quite a bit, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The toon shading is very much like Wind Waker. So far, they kind of seem to have a story arc that matches, in essence, what Wind Waker was, where when you start in Wind Waker, you kind of are released into this world that has already been long dormanted by Ganon's past actions. Ganon being, of course, for people who don't know, the ultimate bad guy in the series. So you are released into this world again, and this world has very much suffered similar consequences, and it is up to you to hurry up and put things right before it gets worse. And that's pretty much the breadth of the wild of my experience.
Going back to the survival aspect of the game, you're saying, do you think it was this Nintendo title was influenced by games like DayZ and Minecraft, where they had that whole survival aspect where you had to gather food, collect supplies, build stuff?
Absolutely. I feel like those games absolutely influence the direction of this game. I feel like they want to do something new and also reach out to the younger audience that is really into these other game types. And, I think they do a pretty successful job, from what I've seen, of bridging these game mechanics into Zelda, but not removing ultimately the essence of what Zelda is. And that's like a puzzle, dungeon / item crawling, cool discovery game.
Yeah,
so
that's great. It still has the magic, which is good.
It still has the magic of what Zelda is,
the Nintendo magic.
But a nice, unique twist to what it would have previously been in older games.
Is someone who's never played Zelda before going to enjoy this in terms of the story and the style?
Well, there are definitely things that I pick up on because I am a fan of the Zelda games, but so far none of those things are actually pivotal in your necessary knowledge of what you have to know for this story to make sense so far. Traditionally, none of the Zelda games actually make much sense if you think about them. So I can't say that ever was an issue. It's almost like a Final Fantasy effect, where you go into this world. It's magical. It's different. It doesn't have to necessarily make a whole lot of sense. It just has to have a basic story for you to follow. And I think that's what this has. So I feel like if you're not a fan of the Zelda games in the sense that you just haven't played one before, there's a large opportunity for you to find a new love in this game.
Awesome. That's great. 'Cause, I'm a huge fan of Wind Waker. I think that's my favorite game of all this Zelda series. And since you said it kind of looks and feels like that, now I really want to play it.
And to be honest with you, Wind Waker is one of my favorite as well.
Yeah. Nice.
The only other one that is strong in my heart is Link to the Past. A Link to the Past, I guess. Just because that was one of the first games that I had played when I was a young kid.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really good title. I mean, obviously, they made a sequel to it like years later.
Yeah, I think they re-released that on the Nintendo Game Market. So
nice.
You can actually buy the Link to the Past on the Nintendo console.
Oh, gotcha. Like
Bridge.
basically the official emulator, right?
Yeah, their official emulator. Or you could probably just do like millions of other people and download a free emulator from some auspicious place.
I don't do that. No, anyway.
I'm definitely not going to do that.
I'm
Wink,
definitely
wink.
not. I'm definitely
right.
not encouraging anybody to go out to your nearest store where emulators are stolen or / downloaded. But do it.
like selling
And it would be
emulators.
completely illegal for me to suggest that anybody did this and go to this exact website. And
Yeah, good thing you're not doing that, right?
yeah, it's a very good thing that you're not doing that.
People are like on Google right now, like emulators. What are they and what do they do?
Give it to me.
I think Arnold ever said that in one of his movies. Give it to me. He's like choking. Give it to me. Timmy Turner.
Oh my god.
That's not even. That's
That's
Arnold.
not even Arnold
That's
anymore.
not- yeah.
It was
That's-
an Arnold facsimile. There.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a Jorgen, right?
Yeah, Georgian von Strangle. Great show.
Oh
Fairly Odd Parents.
yeah, I love this. Mm. Tens of minutes, people.
Yeah, as you said it. That'll be our new shirt in our
Tens of
store.
minutes.
Yeah, 10s of minutes.
We'll have tens of shirts printed.
That
Emails if you want one.
doesn't
Made?
exist.
It may take tens of months.
Tens of months. It's like the sequel to that movie, Tens of Months.
Tens of months. We'll get to it when I care.
What else do we have on the agenda? That doesn't exist.
I was not prepared for this
Yeah, it's
podcast.
okay. Well, what did we want to talk about last time that we
Well,
didn't get to?
I wanted to talk about 2 indie games that I've been playing that I finished
Yeah.
last week.
Okay, go ahead.
And I encountered these 2 games just by going to the VITA store because I had credit, and I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna check it out and see what I can get. The 2 games that I bought are called Home and Alone with You. They're both by the same game developer. His name is Benjamin Rivers, and he's an indie game developer.
Nice.
Yes. And I'll talk about Home first. Home is, when you start playing Home, there is a screen that pops up that says, if you're playing this game, we suggest that you allocate 1.5 hours playing this so that you can go straight through, as well as play this game with headphones, because a lot of the music or the score of this game is really influential on the mood. And how it works is you're a person and you wake up and you find yourself inside of this house, and it's a mystery game trying to figure out why you're in this house. And as you're figuring out what's going on, it leads to you trying to solve a murder mystery. And what I really like about this game is the fact that even though it's only an hour and a half game, it has a lot of playability because there's multiple endings and you have choices. So you, for example, can encounter an item. Say you encounter a notebook, and it will have a description, and then it will say, did you pick up this notebook or not? And I can pick up the notebook or I don't have to. And all of these things impact the ending that you get in the game. I've only played this game twice, so I don't know how many endings there are, but each of the endings that I got were both significantly different.
Spoiler, if you pick up the notebook, you get Ryan Gosling.
And just start crying.
Yes.
And you start crying.
Into his arms.
Oh.
So safe.
Yeah. And the second game I finished is called Alone with You, and this story is based in like a random planet, and you're alone on this planet with an AI, and you have to escape this planet because a storm's coming, but your ship is broken, so you have to go to, and your ship is in this colony, an abandoned and destroyed colony from the past, and to escape you have to go to different parts of the colony and figure out how you're going to repair your escape ship and what you're going to do. But along the way, you're finding out about 4 people who used to live in the colony, and pretty much how the story is how it leads to the colony's demise.
That's crazy.
I know. Both of these games are pretty morbid, and they're pretty dark.
I would have been happier if Alone with You was also about Ryan Gosling.
I would accept both. So what are you playing them on?
I'm playing them on my Vita.
Oh, so you bring your Vita to work. That's cool.
My Vita is currently in my backpack.
Nice.
So, topic for argument: is it Vita or VITA?
I think it's Vita.
I say Vita.
Vita la vida.
Living La Vida Loca.
What do you say?
I was gonna sing, but
Oh.
I chose not to.
It's okay.
VITA.
Vita.
I don't remember any of the commercials for this thing. They say it in the commercials, don't they? To the Google repository. No, I'm lazy. We're not looking it up on Google.
So I'm just going to say Vita
Yeah.
until someone corrects me, gives me the proof, and says, you're saying it wrong.
It's probably either or, to be quite honest. Like, you can say it either way, and both answers are actually acceptable.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a lot of words in the English language due to past wars that might be
Very
pronounced
past wars.
two different ways. Not pointing fingers to anybody. You can't see me pointing fingers right now, but I am.
They're just yelling Vita at each other.
They're yelling at me.
It's VITA. It's VITA. Are you looking it up right now?
No, I'm checking work email.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Sorry. Okay.
Can you just send out an email to work right now?
And just say what?
Is it VITA?
Or
Is it
Vi-
Vita or
Vita.
Vita?
Is it Vita or Vita?
Yeah, you just write it the same way either way.
Yeah.
The hell are you talking about, Jeremy?
Exactly.
And then speaking of the Vita, however you want to say it,
Can we call it Vita Vita?
Vita. I'm not going to talk about it in detail on this podcast, but last year I was obsessed with this game called Persona 4 Golden, which I played on the Vita. In fact, it's one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. But
Is it
Persona...
Persona?
Is it Persona or Persona?
Yeah, I don't know
Look
about
what you
that.
did, Brandon.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm questioning everything now.
As it should be.
Oh my god. But Persona 5 is coming out in April.
That's right, for the PS4, right?
Yes. Which means I have to finish all of these goddamn games so I could play Persona 5 because I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the series. I've never played it yet, but we'll see.
Yes.
Tens of minutes.
I'll spend tens of minutes playing it. And if I like it, I'll spend seconds of minutes playing it.
So real quick with Persona 4 Golden, I've spent so many tens of minutes, maybe tens of minutes times 100. I don't know. So many tens of minutes.
Mean?
I've actually played through the game 3 times.
No way.
And Persona 4 for everybody, this game takes 60 to 70 hours to complete. Maybe on a good day, tens of minutes, you might be able to finish it in 50 hours, but I was really obsessed with the game. I loved it a lot. It's very character driven. I was trying to unlock basically everything with all the characters and the side characters, as well as just do every single random thing I could do in the social link.
Nice.
But I will talk about that on another podcast. Anyways, Persona coming out, excited.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Seems really nice.
Yeah. Well, tell us how it goes. I've never played it before.
Yes. But first, I have to finish everything that I'm already backlogged with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's the struggle right
The
now.
struggle is, it's like having a Steam account.
I'm with you there.
I own 250 games. What I lack is the tens of minutes to play these 250 games.
Have you seen that website where you can type in your Steam information? It'll tell you how much you've paid over the years, like in total for your Steam games.
Why would? So some people just want to see the world burn.
They just want to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, that's like in World of Warcraft. You can go /time played.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like, why would anybody want to do that?
Why did
No,
you
yeah,
do that?
No, I don't want to know how.
Why did you do
I'm
this?
playing this game to escape my life, not to
Yeah.
realize how much of a loser I am. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I did it. I did that.
Now,
I spent over.
are you happy or sad? by
I'm
the
really
answer?
sad. I'm really sad. I spent over $1,000 on Steam games.
Oh yeah, that's nothing. So, but here, does the website have that thing where like, oh, you bought this on this sale? How many dollars did you save?
Yeah, it does that too. It tells you every stat about everything that you've done.
I
with Steam.
saved $10.
Yeah, it'll tell you like during this year how much you
I don't
saved.
do sales. They scare me.
Those summer sales though, you can't beat them. Like 50 cents for something, you know.
I know.
I want every summer to be summer so they can have those Steam sales. Give me sweet, sweet Steam sales.
Oh yeah. Imagine if Minecraft is on Steam. Oh my god.
I mean, I would buy it again.
I mean, I'm not saying you
For
would
all
buy
of your consoles. For all of your consoles.
for a third time on the PC. It's on Steam, right?
Yeah.
Like it's already, you can buy it as a web extension Java module.
Yeah.
You can buy it on the Windows Store now for PC.
You can
And
put
why
on
not
your-
put it
yeah.
on Steam?
You can put on the you can buy it off the Play Store, the Apple iOS Store. You can put it on your phone. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those-
Just, yeah. I'm sorry.
Minecraft.
I think I'm done now. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, yeah.
We just lost a bunch of listeners who were like huge Minecraft fans.
We've lost 3 listeners.
Looking at you, Notch. JK. Give us your money.
Matter of fact, I'm actually going to unsubscribe.
Oh no.
It's I'm lying.
God.
Have me on the show every week and not have no choice but to unsubscribe.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Woo!
So, next, please.
What's next on the agenda?
You see,
What's next?
this
You're,
is
you're the podcast master.
you see, this is the thing. I didn't write an agenda because I'm still stressed from the last podcast from work.
Yeah, no worries.
So I completely forgot to make an agenda for this.
We can talk about
It's
all
okay.
kinds of games. I mean, we can talk about console games, talk about PC games,
We can talk about board games.
and how I'm bored of them. Are they called board games because they are boring?
Unless you're playing the game of life. That's just reality hitting you in the ass.
Is that why nobody wants to play that game?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love board games, but that's because I'm a super competitive ass person who loves trivia and words.
I might partially dislike them because I lose.
Yeah, I prefer single player games on consoles.
Where I still somehow lose.
Yeah. Still somehow die.
Does it work if I get quieter but closer to the mic? It's really soothing.
That
Soothing
just sounds
mic.
like ASMR. Because I'm the only one wearing the headphones. See, our voices are so different. My
So-
voice, I could tell, has like a deeper pitch to it.
What if I just stare right into your eyes while talking like this?
I think at least I might have to leave
Oh.
the room.
Leave the room.
I am uncomfortable.
Leave the room so I can take the other mic. I'm just kidding.
Oh!
I'm joking.
What does that even mean?
You should go now.
Oh my
I'm joking.
God.
I'm joking.
He's not.
All this talk about Ryan Gosling got me hot and bothered.
But really, though, I don't have anything else on the agenda unless anyone has anything to say.
No, I mean we could wrap up now. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Wrap it up.
I think we've
Should
hit the
we,
mark. I think we've had a successful podcast so far.
Should we have the wrap it up music ready for next time so we just wrap it up? Get it in editing post.
Well, this is the thing. We don't have wrap-up music.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Also Moonlight.
What if we just record one of us like humming like da 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 da, and then that will be our wrap up music. And we just play that at the end of every episode.
Or you could those like the shitty recorder.
That's a terrible idea.
You know?
So
Like the
anyways-
covers.
My idea was good. Yours is a terrible
Okay,
idea.
so are you trying to say you want to sing the wrap-up song?
Did you say rap?
Yes.
Yes. I'll rap the wrap up song.
Oh no! I think we all know a guy who could help us with that. Anyways,
Just do-
Inside jokes that no one will understand.
No
Can you
worries.
just do a spoken word version of a rap song? Is that even possible?
you have to like
found a way.
you have to like clap and stop your feet before you start each verse. Oh God.
Woo.
Oh. Anyways, so I think we could call it a day.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We're going to end this podcast. Brandon, thank you for joining.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you coming next week?
Yes. I mean, if they don't tell me to work really hard right during the time you guys record, I will be here next week.
We'll let you know.
And have an agenda next time so that I can
Okay.
so I can interrupt you.
I'm
every
so
agenda-
sorry.
It's not your fault. It's her fault. Is this mic still on?
Yeah.
Yes. It's still on.
Nothing.
God. All right. Thank you for listening to the 4th episode. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.